For decades. Get ready to put his number in your phone. Jay Streckfuss and Humble Transmissions, an AMCO dealer. For your car or truck, or if you manage fleet vehicles, call Jay Streckfuss at Humble Transmission, 281-446-0862. That's
Yeah, good. Thanks.
281-446-0862. For brakes, AC, drivability, and transmissions, of course, call the guy I take my own car to, and believe me, you'll see why this is my first and only choice. Personal care and the best warranties, 281-446-0862. Tell them Lyndon sent you.
The following program, paid for by Right Path Real Estate, does not necessarily represent the views or opinions of the staff, management, or ownership of this station. It's time to get on the right path with Right Path Real Estate Radio with Tom Perry and Jason Bible. Get the answer to your question that's keeping you from taking action and succeeding today.
Welcome to the show.
Get ready. The guys that will put your fears behind you are on the air now. They're taking calls at 713-785-1817. Toll free 877-881-0271. Here's Tom and Jason.
Hot mics.
Hey, welcome to the show. Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. We're a call-in show. I tell you what, you know what I recognize is that people talk a lot about retirement, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I think there's a lot of anxiety about as people get older and older. You know, I turned 50 a couple of years ago, and I remember thinking about all the people that I know that are 50 years old or older that are really stressing about how do I get to a place where I can retire and not work till I'm 100? Because, you know, statistically, people don't make it to 100, right? So,
well, I don't know. The people turning 50 now might. I
Yeah.
mean, that's, you know, we're our age, we're lasting a little bit longer than we used to. So,
right.
I mean, if you're 40, 50 years old now, you might live to 100, right?
Right.
We met a guy, you probably remember this. We met a guy out at Memorial, and he said, this year I've been retired longer than I worked.
Wow. Yeah.
He was, 99, I think?
Yeah.
97, something like that?
Right.
You could live longer than the years you worked.
I remember a lady that, in fact, that runs the sod business over in Stafford. And she went to work for GM up in Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she was, I think, from Detroit originally, and she went to work in the factory at Michigan for like 22 or 23 years old, and worked there like 35 years, I think. So she was like 57, and she has a pension that basically pays her. She did it before. Now after the government buyout and all that, I mean, she may have lost the employee pension. And all that.
Well, they bailed out the pensioners. That's really what happened.
Yeah, right.
Debt holders got crushed.
Yeah.
That actually turned the entire bankruptcy, past 200 years of bankruptcy law upside down. That's one of the reasons why Wall Street freaked out. But anyways, that's an whole Obama thing. We'll talk about that later.
Right. And so, you know what I realized is she gets the same amount of money for not working that she made for working for all those years. And so she worked for 35 years and she was 57. So, you know, she could live another 35 years easily. I mean, she makes it to 92.
Yeah.
In fact, I think she was even younger. I mean, I think now that I remember it, she was more like 20, and she retired at like 55 after 35 years. And so another 35 years, she'd make 90. So if she, 20 years of, so what is that? Now, very few, in fact, I don't know of any company that really has a pension anymore, other than like firefighters, police officers, some government workers, which is really what's causing a lot of
let's put pension in quotes.
Yeah, right, yeah.
They have a pension on paper.
Right, yeah.
But I think there's going to be a rude awakening for a lot of people in the next 10 years that a lot of those pensions are not solvent. In fact, I've got the article. Zero Hedge actually rewrote an article, commented on the article of the number of people that are filing for bankruptcy that are 65 years and older. I talked about that on Monday's show. It's only going to get worse because they thought their pensions were going to be there, and they're not.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's interesting because, if you really compare, I mean, don't want to go down the rabbit hole of Bernie Madoff or anything like that, but basically he was creating, returns on paper that looked pretty good, growing 7, 8, 10% per year, or sometimes a little bit more, but he actually wasn't doing the trades to create those returns. So he kept making it look bigger and bigger and bigger. So it's just there wasn't enough cash in the accounts to match what the statements were that he was printing on paper. And And really, that's essentially the issue that a lot of cities are facing with their pensions, right? The amount.
That's exactly what it is. There were
So
assumptions.
Bernie goes
they
to
made.
jail for that.
Bernie goes to jail.
It's called fraud.
Right, and we reelect the same people.
Right, and so our governments are doing essentially the same thing, creating that same kind of Ponzi scheme, fraud. So really, I mean, what kind of retirement can you count on? And I've gotten really excited just recently looking at what the numbers are in single-family real estate. When you look at the kind of, we know a lot of people are in what we call catch-up mode. We meet them every day. We see them at the real estate events. We see them, and in fact, even just, I was at the dry cleaners the other day, and I met this guy, and he was just engaged in this conversation with another guy that happened to be in there, and said, "Man, I'm 58 years old, and I'm about 40% of the way to my retirement goal." Yeah. But now the good news is for him, in this plan that he's put together in his own mind, is that if everything works perfectly, got to cross your fingers, then he's reduced his expenses way down. I mean, he had much higher expenses, 10 years ago because he had more kids in the house and all that. And he had a big, 3,800 square foot house. And so he's built up a lot of equity in that house. So now he's about ready to downsize. He wants to sell the house, take a lot of that equity. That's part of his catch up, He wasn't really counting that before in his retirement. Now he wants to invest that. But when you start looking at the market, what's a safe rate of return to count on in the marketplace? And some people say 7 or 10%. Here's the problem: is that what if it goes down 20% just a couple of years before you're retiring? Then you're really in a hole. And so, what if you could make 20, 25, 30% without the same kind of risk in the market? Because what's the odds that a single family house is going to go down in value if people need a place to live?
It's pretty small. And I was thinking about this on the way to the office this morning, and
at 6:30,
6 in the morning, whenever
right.
when I was leaving Sugarland.
Sure.
And what you realize, what I was looking at? This is going to be, you guys will like this. Just give me a minute here. We're going to work up to this analogy.
Yeah.
What's amazing to me is the older parts of Sugarland are completely tree lined, right? Huge oak
Beautiful,
trees.
yeah.
They're in the median. They're on the sides of the road.
And I love the trees that grow together. And
They grow together. Yeah. It's a canopy.
Yeah, right.
It's crazy. You can't see the sunlight.
It's awesome.
You can't grow the grass in some of our yards. So anyways, I was driving through there, and you know what you notice in Sugarland? There's not a single busted up sidewalk.
No, there's not.
Do you know why that is?
Yeah, because they take care of it.
Because they don't put up with that.
Right.
Much like certain parts of Houston. I'm looking at you, Meyerland and Westbury. You go down Westbury, it's like, Houston, you got to fix the sidewalks, right?
Right.
And what I realized is, why do folks in Sugarland not put up with that? Because they have a certain expectation. Like, this is what excellence looks like.
Right.
Our sidewalks are going to be decent. Our schools are going to be good, all that other sort of stuff. So then I started thinking, well, when the next real estate crash happens, and there will be another crash, where would you rather live? What areas are going to be most impacted by the crash? And I can go back and I can look at Sugarland. There was virtually we were in the, quote, worst real estate downturn ever. And there really wasn't a downturn in a lot of neighborhoods. There were neighborhoods where it was highly concentrated, and there were a lot of neighborhoods that were relatively unscathed. So even inside of real estate, there are places that you'd want to invest rather than others. But by and large, are you looking at a 50% downturn? No. 10%, 20%? Does it take longer to sell a house? Versus, oh my God, all my money's in the stock market. It crashes. I'm supposed to retire in 5 years, and my 401k has now become a 201k.
And how many times have you heard people say, oh my gosh, the market just crashed 20%. I've got to stay in because I've got to make that back up, right? I don't want to sell. It's funny the how we play mental gymnastics. If the market's up 20%, you don't want to sell, because you go, oh my gosh, I might miss out on it going higher, right? And then if it loses 20%, you don't say, well, I don't want to sell now because I can't afford to take the loss, right? I can't lose like that. It's like, oh my gosh, how many people do you know that have $50,000, $100,000, $500,000 in the market, and they watch it every single day as if watching it's going to change something, right? Do you do that with houses that you own?
No, I don't. I have no idea what they're worth. You know what? I know what they're worth when I buy them.
Yeah.
And then after that, I really don't care.
Yeah.
And I'll look again when I'm ready to sell them, but otherwise, I could really care less. It really doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, one of the few things that I can say that I think is a good investment is that, if you have a 401k where your company matches, right? And so let's say they match 100% of the first 3%. I mean, you're basically guaranteed to double your money on that, right? I put in 3%, they match 3%. If I don't do it, it's like I feel like that I've got to do that, right?
That's what we do in our house.
Right, but outside of that, it's like it's nearly impossible to say that you're doing anything other than speculating in the market. Now, what I like about that is I'm putting in half, they're putting in the other half. Mm-hmm. But with a single family piece of real estate that's a rental property, I put the down payment in, but my tenant's making the monthly payment.
That's right.
Every single month.
That's a good point. So you put in 20%.
Right. I put
your
in 20.
Your tenant puts in 80.
Right.
That's a great deal.
Oh my gosh, I'm like, and not only do I get the 80%, but they give me more than what my payment is.
That's right.
I get some cash flow as well, and then the government says, "Hey, you know what? We even though I know that that's an appreciating asset, we're averaging about 7% appreciation. We've got one of our students that says, "Man, 7%. I've been hitting double that the last 4 or 5 years every single year."
Yep.
But let's just be conservative, right? Because the people that we're talking to are the people that are saving, right? That they're trying
to double. This is a good little math, and I don't want to get into too much math.
Yeah, math is hard on the radio.
Double your money in 5 years is a 14.7% rate of return.
Yeah.
So you only need a 15% appreciation to double the value.
Actually,
in 5 years.
It's even less than that. So. Because we're talking about doubling the value you have in the deal, right?
No, that's doubling the value of that. So $200,000 house, a $400,000 house at 15% appreciation.
Okay, got it.
Per year for 5 years.
Right.
So if you've only got 20% in, it's less than that, right?
Right, absolutely. Yeah. What did you say, Nikki?
45 seconds.
Okay, got it. All right, thanks. Okay, so we're going to talk more about this on the other side of the break. What I feel like, I almost feel like that we've got an evangelistic show today because we've got good news.
Preaching.
We've got some good news. There is hope on the horizon that if you put a plan together, number one thing you're going to have to do is change your thinking. I'm going to talk about a guy. I called a guy yesterday that had committed to coming to our event, our free event, and I want to talk about that and just a shift in his mindset that's keeping him from achieving the goals that. And this was me a couple of years ago. You're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817.
Mic's off.
Real estate investors, do you need a lender that moves fast at the speed of a jet to fund your investment properties? Jet Lending will help you purchase properties quickly with as little cash out of pocket as possible. Jet Lending also sets up a repair escrow fund to help you with.
Hey, Mark. Well, congratulations in 2 months.
Loans in Texas valued at over
turning 50 in 2 months.
There you go.
Will help you evaluate your deals for free and give you feedback on value, cost of repairs, and potential loan amount. Jet Lending is your fast and friendly hard money source for first-time investors and seasoned professionals. Call 281-872-7800 or email us at info@jetlending.com. Oh, and don't forget about our famous Third Wednesday Super Investor Networking Meeting. Lots of fun, lots of great real estate talk. We'll see you there.
Are you expecting to close accurately, on time, and with lots of communication on your home purchase? You've come to the right place. I'm Jennifer Hernandez, Senior Loan Officer with Legacy Mutual Mortgage. Our goal is to give our borrowers and referral partners an amazing experience during the loan process. My team believes in putting people and culture before results. Our company concentrates on building those teams who operate with structure, process, and recognition for going the extra mile for you. This way, we have the energy to make this your best home purchase ever. Give us a call today to find out the simple steps to get started. I'm Jennifer Hernandez, the Hernandez team at Legacy Mutual Mortgage. Jennifer.legacymutual.com or call 713-579-3611. Again, Jennifer.legacymutual.com.
I'm like, where's the original
we can't
feed?
wait to consult with you soon. NMLS
Oh,
514497.
Paradigm.
Equal housing opportunity lender. NMLS 514497.
I got to find that commercial.
Are small returns getting in the way of your retirement
How do you
plans?
Google
Why
that?
settle for mediocre results? There's a better place to invest. The experts agree. Single-family real estate is one of the best investments you can make. Find out how JB Fund Services offers a 9% preferred return and up to a 13% waterfall. Call us today at 281-915-0906 or visit our website, jbfundservices.com. That's 281-915-0906. This investment is offered to accredited investors.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for your investment property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties. Whether it's a flip rehab or a rental rehab, we manage every aspect of a rehab from start to finish with a highly efficient, standardized process.
Over the last
What?
6 years,
It's called the
Fast Track
commercial's
has
called
completed over
Boxymoron.
700 projects.
Boxymoron
Which
instead of
help us to
oxymoron.
create our
Yeah, because he talks
keys
about
to
here's the
success.
box. You need to be out
Use a
here.
detailed
It's
scope of
so
work so that
stupid.
everything gets done. Train and maintain quality crews so it gets done right, and complete the work in a proper order so it gets done fast.
No more managing it yourself, no more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992. Again, that's 832-742-9992, or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
You found or inherited a great investment property. Problem is, you don't know how much it's worth, or more importantly, what to do to maximize your investment while mitigating risk. This is exactly why we started Next Gen Appraisals. Next Gen is a group of appraisers specializing in investment real estate. We understand that investors aren't just looking for a number of what their property is worth, but a comprehensive analysis of the market. Give Next Gen a call at 713-346-9911 or check us out online at nextgenappraisals.com.
This is Business 1110.
You guys ready?
Yeah,
All right, hot mics.
I'm doing the twist here on the show. I'm just kidding. Hey, you're
That's
listening.
a pretty weak twist.
Yeah.
You're not teaching that at a weekend retreat,
No, I'm
right?
not. No, you know, I do think I teach things that I'm a 10 at, not things that I'm a 3 at. And so doing the twist, I'm probably a 3.
That's the after party.
Yeah, right. That's right. Hey, you're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. So before the break, you know, there's a cliche. Everybody knows it. The definition of insanity is what? Doing the same thing
invest
over
in the stock market?
Yeah.
Oh,
I heard a dog go, "Arr!" Yeah, so definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. You know what I love about the human condition is that we do have the ability to change. But where does change really begin? It doesn't typically begin in our actions. It begins in our thinking, right? A paradigm shift, right?
So I'm not going to be able to say paradigm right. I already know.
Right. So you know, it oftentimes takes a change in our thinking in order to make a change in our behavior, and the change in the behavior results in a change in our actions, and that results in a change in our outcome, right? Got to change the input before you change the output. I had a guy last night, and I was making a few for reminder phone calls, some people that registered to come to our free event last night. And by the way, our next free event is noon on Thursday. If you want to come to our free our free financial freedom event, it's Thursday at 12 noon. So I'm calling this guy. He had signed up to come last night, and I said, hey, you know, looking forward to meeting you in person. You know, thanks for signing up. And he goes, well, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it. And I go, well, have you started real estate yet? And he goes, no, man, I've been dreaming about doing real estate for a long, long time.
Really? He said that?
Yeah, he did. And he goes, you know, and I go, why do you want to do real estate? He goes, you know, I just want to do better for my family.
Okay.
And I go, okay, great. I said, can you tell me about he goes, well, I've got 4 kids.
Okay.
And I go, great. And I said, well, what happens if you don't make a change? And he goes, well, I'll continue having what I have. And I go, is that a bad thing? He goes, yeah. He goes, I just want more for them. And I said, you know, I hear that a lot. You know, there's been quite a few of our students that came to our event. And he goes, I go, what's keeping you from coming tonight? He goes, I've got Little League. And I go, you know, Little League is amazing. It really is. I mean, I think the things that young people learn from Little League, I just think, what's the difference going to be 10 years from now, 15 years from now, looking back? Dad was at this one little league practice. He said it wasn't a game, it was a practice. He said, my dad was there at this little league versus my dad made a change, started investing in real estate, made an extra $100,000 a year for the last 15 years. Now he's got this nest egg of $1.5 million, and he's taking me to Disney, and he's taking me on cruises, and we've gone to Alaska together, and we fished for salmon, or whatever it is your dream is going to be. Yeah. It's like we don't realize the small decisions we make on a daily basis that have a massive, an iceberg size change in our life down the road. It's just that those small little daily disciplines that keep us in a rut.
Yeah.
Really, he's in a rut right now. He's got this is what he does on Monday, and this is what he does on Tuesday, and this is what he does on Wednesday, and this is, I'm sure he wakes up every morning, has the same thing for breakfast. And it's like, and you wonder, like, okay, is that a healthy choice for breakfast? Is that, it's like what? It's the little things on a daily basis.
One of the things I like to ask people, especially as they get a little bit older, and this doesn't work with the 22-year-olds out there.
No, of course not.
But are you worried that your children are going to have to take care of you in retirement?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That's that, and I never like to just come out with that, but that's another question. Hey, I want to do better. Well, why?
You just slap somebody in the face.
I know, but it's true.
Right.
It's like, do you want, if you have not taken care of your financial future, then your kid's responsible for it, right? Because the corporations failed and your pension plan failed and the government failed and all that. So where's your backstop?
Right.
Well, why not take control of that now?
Yeah. Well,
we're going to miss one little league game.
One of the things we see a lot is we see people that have, they're playing catch up in their retirement. I talked to a guy recently. He said, "Look, I just turned 58 years old. I'm about 40% of my way to my retirement goal," and he said, "I've got to catch up that other 60%." In the next 7 years. And I'm like, okay, so wait a minute. Just to be clear, you've been...
Now we can do some math here.
Right.
You're 58. Yeah, you're 40% there.
Right. So you're 58 years old. You've been... How old were you? He goes, well, I graduated college about 22, so I've been working 36 years. I said, so you've gotten 40% of the way there in 36 years. You want to get 60% in the next 7. Okay. He had some good news. There is a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel. He goes, my number one fear is... He said, I've got this plan that over the next 7 years, I can sell my house that I'm in now. I'm in a 3,800 square foot house. I can downsize to a 2,200 square foot house, smaller, less expensive, right? I'm not feeding as many mouths in my household now. I don't have the food expense. My insurance costs have gone down. I'm not paying for 4 different cars. Here's the 2 big fears he's got. One is, what if... Actually, he's got 3 big fears that he shared with me. One is, what if my health doesn't stay the same? Because, he said, I had a friend that he had a heart attack, and, it was a $150,000 health event, just like that, and that knocked him out of...
So I can tell you, we have a friend of ours that was part of the same small group. There was like 5 guys, and he's passed away. Funeral was Monday, and it's like... He was my age, right? You don't know what it is.
I know a real estate agent that has been around the real estate investing community for a long time. Had 30-year-old twin boys, and 30-year-old passed away. Woke up having trouble breathing. Passed away of a heart attack at 30 years old. Yeah,
wow.
And I haven't told you the story. You know the person. If I told you, then won't share it on the air. But so number one is, what if he has a health event, right? And then number 2, we have one of our students that he said, hey, I was in safety in oil and gas. And he said, I was making a really, really good income. And
oil and gas is safety first.
Right, right. I know the safety first. And he said, it was safety first. When the down came in oil, safety was the first one out the door.
First one out the door, yeah.
So here he said, here I was making a high 6-figure income. And I was playing catch up. I was aggressively catching up. I was on my plan, and here, boom, I was out the door. So, do you want... So, number 2 thing that the guy says is, I don't want HR controlling my future financial security. And then number 3 is, I've got a lot of money in the market. And, one of the things that Warren Buffett says, invest in things you know, right?
Right.
And I asked him, I said, well, what all are you invested in? In fact, I've had this conversation several times. And we had a guy came to our weekend event, sat on the front row at our last weekend. You know who I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, we've got quite a bit in the market, with a financial planner. And I go, well, what's it in? He goes, I'm embarrassed to say I don't even know. I don't even know what it's in. And I go, well, so you're investing in something that you have no idea what it is.
For retirement's the only thing you can't screw up, right?
Right.
So it's like, this is the most important thing you will do in your lifetime, aside from raising your children, and you don't know what's going on.
Right. Yeah, and I said, wait, do you know the house you live in? He goes, yeah. I mean, this guy lives in a big house. And I go, what do you not know better than the fact that people need two main things in life? Got to have food on a daily basis, and you have to have shelter, right? So if you can provide and make a good living providing food or shelter for people, right? Now, I don't want to get in the food business, although God bless the farmers, right?
I'll tell you right now, a big bet for the last 10 years has been in farmland.
Right, absolutely.
A lot of real estate guys that are big players,
Yeah,
right?
sure, right.
Buying a lot of farmland. Second best has been single-family real estate.
Right. Well, I would say 7 or 8 years ago, 10 years ago, I think multifamily was a great play, right?
Yeah.
And I love me some multifamily, just not now, right?
Yeah.
We think that multifamily is so high priced right now that it is not a good time. But when you look at single family as an investment, oh my gosh, most people have these check boxes like, does it have this? Check. Does it have that? Check. Does it have this other thing? Check. And when you look at there's really 6 ways to make money in real estate now. I mean, when you add leverage, right? Leverage is you can increase your rates of return. I mean, appreciation's good, but leverage appreciation's even better, right?
Right.
So what do you have to say about all that?
Yeah, buy more real estate.
Buy more real estate. So if you want, here's one of the things that we find is that a lot of people say, well, that sounds all great and all for you guys, but you already know how to do it.
We weren't born with that knowledge.
Right. Yeah, you know what? Wouldn't it be great if somebody that already knows how to do it would take you by the hand? Mm-hmm. And, if people took that approach, we wouldn't, oh, man, I don't want to be a doctor because, you already know how to be a doctor. So I guess there'll be no more doctors. There'll be no more engineers. There'll be no more airplane pilots, right? There'll be no more mechanics because, man, you got to learn all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be worth learning how to take control of your better financial future? Imagine what your life would be like if you had passive income coming in on a monthly basis that met all of your financial obligations.
Yeah, I think when I look at what financial independence looks like and what freedom looks like, you don't worry about the financial side of your house, right? You don't look at the financial side of your family. It's that simple. You've got dollars coming in that you don't have to actively go out and work for.
Right.
I'll never forget, I was at a seminar one time, and this woman was putting on a seminar, put it this way. She said, you work, get paid.
Yes.
Or you could work to get a deal, and then you get paid.
Yes.
And I thought, oh, that's a brilliant way to put it.
Yes.
I work once, buy a rental property. It continues to pay me until I sell that house.
Sure.
Or I can go to work, and every 2 weeks, on the 15th of the 1st, I get paid.
Yeah.
But when that stops...
Yeah, if you stop working...
No money.
There's an exchange, right? Yeah.
And even in modern retirement planning, the way it's taught is we build up this nest egg and then we draw down the nest egg.
Right.
I'm like, I don't like that.
Right, no.
I want to keep getting paid for the activities that I've done. I don't want to withdraw my savings, withdraw my retirement. I want it to pay me by ownership. And that's what makes real estate one of the best asset classes to invest in.
All right, you're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817, 713-785-1817. If you want to join in the conversation, if you want to ask any questions, how do I find deals, how do I fund deals, how do I analyze deals, we teach all of that. But more importantly, we teach you how you can take control of your better financial future. Why would you delay that?
Mic's off.
All right. I can't hear this song without seeing the video, with all the Jeeps and...
Did you know that
You
there
know?
are over $24 trillion
Which one is it?
in
That song
retirement
that-
accounts
on
in
the Tronot
US?
videos.
Oh,
or-
is it?
Imagine if
Okay.
you could use
On-
someone's IRA to fund all of your deals. Well, you can. Quest IRA is based locally here in Houston, Texas. At Quest IRA, we offer retirement accounts that can be used to invest in real estate, promissory notes, private entities, and much more. Many of our clients loan money from their IRAs to fund real estate deals all over the country. We don't sell any investments or give advice. However, we do hold free networking events, weekly educational classes, and free consultations with an IRA specialist. For more information, visit our website at questira.com or call us at 1-855-FUN-IRAs. To tap into the $24 trillion in retirement accounts in the U.S., call Quest IRA at 1-855-FUN-IRAs or go to our website, questira.com.
Do you have cracks in your brick, doors that stick, or sheetrock that's coming apart? Then you may have foundation movement. Due to our expansive soils in the Houston area, it's probably not a question of if you have movement, but when. Call Foundation Check for a truly independent, unbiased foundation evaluation. Foundation Check has been in business since 2009 and has completed over 1,400 evaluations. We're not in the business of repairing foundations or selling you unnecessary peer work, but we are in the business of evaluating your foundation. Our product is designed for house flippers, landlords, or even owner-occupied properties. Each of our files is reviewed by a licensed engineer. Remember to check.
Yeah, this is nuts. So they actually put the table in this thing. 15.5% are all bankruptcies are people 65 years of age plus.
Or you can reach us online at foundationcheck.com.
It's 16%. That's insane.
Hi, Clint Coons here, attorney and avid real estate investor. You know the greatest mistake real estate investors make is not understanding the potential liability that exists from owning real estate. At Anderson Business, Legal, and Tax Advisors, we specialize in protecting real estate investors in all 50 states. In addition to structuring your business for optimum protection, we provide guidance so you pay the least amount of taxes available under the law. We have 150 employees that range from lawyers to CPAs to estate planners and much more.
See, this is the problem with the guys that I won't get into the downsizing discussion, but when they're like, I'm going to downsize and that's going to save me money, it really doesn't. More people are entering their senior years in debt. For many, that means a mortgage. Roughly 41% of senior debt in 2016. You can't go into retirement with a mortgage unless you're producing enough cash from your passive investments. But even then, you really can't have a mortgage.
All right, 1 minute.
A real estate deal. If your insurance company is slow or non-responsive, you could lose a
1 minute
deal
till what?
like that. You need a quick turnaround on quotes or binders.
Are you serving coffee? 1 minute till coffee?
The team at Benchmark understands the investor mindset.
I'm
They
just
know
kidding.
what you need and when you need
Thanks,
it.
Jeff.
We're here for you. Are you a rehabber, wholesaler, buy and hold, or
Mr.
flipper?
Emerson.
Bundling your properties on a single policy
Charts.
will help save time and
Charts.
money. Benchmark has been in business
Bring
for
charts
over
with
20
you.
years, and we insure over 30,000 properties. Contact Benchmark about our exclusive investor package. Call us and let us show you what we
Yeah, I don't get to go to the
281-569-4353.
super exclusive VIP St. Arnold's thing on Saturday because I'll be at the Quest Expo. But I think my wife's going to be there with
or
a
online
friend or
at
something.
benchmarkbroker.com. That's benchmarkbroker.com. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com.
Chartings.
This is Business 1110.
All right, guys, hot mics.
All right, we're going to do this. Welcome back. Right Path Real Estate, 713-785-1817. You know, I'll have to, I want to share a quick story.
Please do.
You know what's interesting is many people try and figure out all the things about how to do something before they ever get started. And you know, I remember when we started this radio show, right? You said, "Hey, Tom, I think we ought to do this radio show." And I'm like, "We've never done a radio show before."
And you're like, "How are we going to do that?" I'm like, "I don't know. Just get on the radio and not cuss."
Right.
That was really what it was.
Yeah, because there's, hey, Nikki, do we have a dump button?
We do not have a dump
Yes.
button.
We
We
do
do have a dump.
It's not on.
But
That's good.
we
But it's
have
not
one,
on.
but it's not on, right?
Probably ought to turn that on.
Yeah, probably ought to turn that on. No, but it's like we didn't wait till we became 10. Not that we become 10s at doing radio, right?
No, it's still pretty terrible shit.
But what we do is we talk about what it is that we're doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you don't have to wait till you become a 10 at something in order to get started.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I would argue that you can't ever become a 10 at something until you start. No one starts out at 10 at anything. Think of who we consider great people at doing what they do. Just name anybody. I mean, sports analogies typically come and we think, oh man, Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, right? He was a 10 at being basketball. Not when he started. Heck, he didn't even make his high school team, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so I think we, again, a paradigm shift, right? Yes, a paradigm shift. I mean, it's like you can't wait till you're a 10 at something in order to get started. No one would ever start anything. Think of someone that's a surgeon. I mean,
how do you become a millionaire? It's not by reading books on how to be a millionaire.
No, of course it's not.
It's the practice at the right things.
Yeah, it's making small decisions.
What we find is that people they're going down the wrong path, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're going down I'll just save for retirement, and by 58, I'll be 40% of the way.
Right.
And it's like, that's too late, dude.
Right, yeah.
It's too late.
It's too late. Yeah.
The reality is it's probably too late for that guy. Here's the other scary thing. What if he had started real estate investing 20 years ago?
But when you tell someone it's too late, now you're just being mean.
Well, I mean, it's fine. Okay, so he's got to come up with 60%. Well, what he's doing now,
correct.
It's too late.
For the track that he's been following for the last 36 years, it is too late to continue on that track to play catch up in 7 years.
In fact, I'll pull up in the spreadsheet, and I can tell you, I don't even need to know his income.
Are you going to pull up a chart?
I can. Yeah, everyone's online is now calling me charts.
Charts, yeah.
So I can pull. I've got the retirement formula. I'll tell you what it is. He's going to, just off the top of my head.
Is this the E equals MC? No, that's
even easier than that.
Okay.
So if it's taken him that long to save that much money, the reality is he's got a 60% deficit, right? So he's going to have to save for, depending on how much he's actually saving, another 17, 18 years.
Yeah, sure. But he wants to do it in 7.
No, it's not going to happen.
Well, all he has to do is save 3 times what he would in order to get there in 17 years.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to save, assuming stock market returns about 11%, less inflation and fees and all that, about 7% rate of return.
Well, and so here's what happens is
he's going to have to save 80% of his income.
On paper, we can create some outlandish goals. Had a gentleman come in recently, not going to name any names or anything, but this guy wants to make $800,000 a year in real estate investing. And it's like, okay, so I'm not saying that can't be done, but what the goal is you're setting out is you're trying to make 8 times what you make when you're working, not working. It's like, okay, so it's like, okay, you can do that if you have capital, if you have a plan in place, but if you're starting out brand new, that's hard to do the first year, right? Mm-hmm. So one of the things it's a little bit like somebody coming in that weighs 400 pounds, right? Mm-hmm. And you say, you know what? I've got a wedding that for my daughter's wedding is coming up, and it's coming up in 6 months, and I'd really like to get back into my high school suit. When I weighed 180 pounds, but I weigh 500 now, and I want to do that in 6 months. It's like, man, is that even possible? Is it even physically possible to lose 300? So it's kind of like I feel like sometimes with TV shows that we have and with movies that we have and things like that, it's like people can turn into Ant-Man, people can turn into Hercules, and all. It's like, hey, that's fantasy, right? I mean, we want to get back into reality. Your financial plan should not be fantasy. Mm-hmm. And what we want to get, the hope that we want to give people is, hey, you know what? We can give you some really pretty amazing returns. I mean, Buffett's gotten rich off of what kind of returns year over year over year?
Oh, I'd have to go back and look. 15%, 20%,
I think it's about 15%. You could probably chart that pretty quick.
I can. Give me 2 seconds and I'll find it.
Yeah, so if Buffett can get rich on 15% returns over a period of time, because it's not like, you can say, well, Buffett's rich today. I mean, Buffett's been rich for a while, right?
A couple of years.
Yeah, a couple of years. More than a decade.
His compound annual growth rate's 19.1%.
So less than 20%. So if Buffett can do it on 19%, what can you do if you could make 25 or 30? We have some of our students that are making 40% a year on the money that they've got invested. That's the hope. That's how you play catch up, right? You get a different map than you get a different path than what you're going on right now. The path that you're going on right now, nothing wrong here. I want people to understand that, I'm saying that the guy that went to Little League, right? I'm not saying that Little League is bad. I'm saying that if your goal is to change your financial future. Have you ever done this exercise with the wagon wheel? Have you ever seen the wagon wheel? You do a wagon wheel with like 5 spokes, right?
Oh, and this is where like one spoke's longer than the other one. Yeah.
And it's about living a life of balance, right? Mm-hmm. And here's one of the things I recognize is that you can live so out of balance going towards money that you sacrifice family. We know people that have done that. Mm-hmm. You can live so out of balance focused on family that you sacrifice business, right? And you can't provide. So really, how do you... It's two sides of the teeter-totter, right? With every minute that you spend, when you're choosing to spend time working out, for example, you're choosing not to be making money or not spending time with your family, unless your business is combining family and workout, and you're in the workout business, right? But for every minute that you're choosing to do one thing, you're choosing not to do everything else that you could be doing. So here's the question is, so we know that there's a cost for doing something. There's also a cost for not doing something. So if there's a cost for making a change, what's the cost of not making a change?
Well, I think it's pretty simple. I mean, I'm reading an article right here where 16% of bankruptcies are people 65 plus years of age.
Yeah. So what does that mean exactly?
That means you're not going to have the retirement that you want. It means that your kids are going to be taking care of you. It means you're going to live on Social Security. That's what it means. So those are the choices. When I started real estate investing, it was a really easy choice for me because I knew the conventional wisdom of save for retirement does not mathematically.
When did you start doing the math on that? Because most people don't start doing the math at the age that you started doing the math.
23.
So you got married at how old?
23.
Okay, and so you just got married at 23, and you already had an undergrad degree, right? At 23 years old, and you had a job making decent income straight out of college, right? And you started looking at the numbers, and what did you discover?
I discovered basically what we talk about in the radio show now, the rule of 25 and all that other stuff. I would have to save
for about 30 years.
I would have to save for over a 30-year period about 25% of our take-home income consistently over 30 years to be able to retire.
So most people don't save even 8% of their take-home pay.
No.
And you're talking about that you're going to try and save 3 times what the average person doesn't do.
Right. So here's where it starts to get crazy. When I started all my spreadsheets, now we have the rule of 25 and all this other, that makes it so much easier. It came out in the last couple of years. In order to retire in 20 years, if you're saving for retirement, doesn't matter how much money you make, it doesn't matter, as long as it's 7% rate of return, all that stuff. To retire in 20 years, you have to save 50% of your take-home income, which at that point I knew, okay, so I'll just try and make more money.
Yeah, instead of making 100,000 trying to save 50, make 200,000, live on 100, try and save the other. Right.
But then you realize it's 20 years without losing a job, without a major medical emergency,
with no setbacks.
No setbacks at all. It's 20 years of crazy consistency. And so, let's say
and living a very not sterile is not the right word, a very sparse lifestyle, right?
Which is exactly what this guy was telling you.
1 minute.
We're going to downsize our house. We're going to live somewhere else. We're going to do, and it's like, move to Thailand and retire today if you want to live. It's cheap, right?
Yeah, right.
Or you could simply invest in real estate, which has a lot higher rate of return.
So the good news that we have, and we're going to talk about this on the other side of the break, is your rule of 25 is a path it's nearly impossible to get you there. But we've got a 5-year path that'll get you there. We're going to talk more about that on the other side of the break. You're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817.
Mike's up.
House. I'm going to date myself here a little bit. When I went to military school in 8th grade, I used to listen to the 8-track of this song a lot. I would crank it up. That 8-track would just loop it.
Time is money in a real estate.
Yeah,
If your
I had
insurance
that.
company
I
is
had
slow
that
and
8-track.
non-responsive, you could lose a deal.
I'm not bragging. I'm just saying.
Just saying.
Quick turnaround on quotes.
All right, so let's say this guy makes $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
He needs, by the rule of 25, he needs $2.5 million. He's $1 million short.
Yeah.
So how are you going to make $1 million in 7 years?
Yeah. Well, you gotta
Divided by 7 is $142,000.
But he makes 100.
Assuming he spends 100, like for retirement, it's $100,000, right?
Yeah.
You
So he's got to save $142,000 a year.
He's not going to make it.
Well, but he's going to get some interest on some of that savings.
Yeah, that's right. He is going to get some interest, right? Give me a little bit of interest. I'm going to get a 10% rate of return, bro. Dude, you're not going to make it.
Yeah.
And you're 58, and you're going to be 65. It's like, why? Just take that $1.5 million and even just cash flow. You get a 10% rate of return. You're retired.
Yep.
$150,000 a year, done.
Done.
And you got 50 grand in savings.
Yeah, done.
50 grand extra to keep. I mean, dude, it's not
Done.
that hard. Done.
Done.
You simply don't know what
Done.
you're going to get. The foundation repair industry as a whole doesn't carry a license, nor is it regulated. However, Foundation Check utilizes professional engineers to review all of our files to give you the best foundation analysis in today's market. Remember to check before every repair. Call 346-702-3825, or you can reach us online at foundationcheck.com.
Taxes. Just the sound of that word makes people cringe. At Anderson Advisors, we provide tax reduction through asset protection for real estate investors throughout the country. Our unique
My dad sent me a note. He's like, hey, you going to talk about Sugarland Arena? I'm like, I think we're all sold out.
one common goal, helping you,
Yeah.
the real estate
On
investor.
Eventbrite we are, and I
Check
think
us out
Meetup's got
today
another
at
20 or 30. I'm like, we're kind of booked.
AndersonAdvisors.com. And don't forget to tell us you
We
heard
are
about us
booked.
at Right Path Real Estate.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for
Why,
your
yes, I
investment
am.
property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832
I am indeed. 22% open rate.
Or
That's
reach us
not
on the
bad.
web at
10% click-through.
fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in
we need to be
turnkey
cooking these
remodeling of
people.
single-family investment properties, whether it's a flip, rehab, or a rental rehab. No more managing it yourself. No more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992.
Are you a realtor or seller that is concerned about the new TRID rules and closing on time? I'm Jennifer Hernandez, Senior Loan Officer at Legacy Mutual Mortgage, and we have mastered the 30-day close. We close on time, accurately, and with tons of communication. You'll have a dedicated team of a coordinator and a contract-to-close associate. Give me a call
Hey,
today.
David, did I see you guys had another kid?
713-579-3611,
I thought I saw that on
and
Facebook.
let's talk about how we can help
Congratulations.
you
Y'all
on your
got
next
3 now?
NMLS 514497.
You found or inherited a great investment
All right,
property.
1 minute.
Problem is, you don't know how much it's worth.
Oh,
or
this
more
is cute,
importantly,
Facebook.
what to do to
Now they're
maximize
going to
your
send me
investment.
reminders of people who've sent me friends requests. Oh, this is going to be nice. I wonder how you turn that off.
NextGen is a group of appraisers specialized
Because I'm going to get
in investment real estate.
9,000
We
messages for
understand
that.
Investors aren't just looking for a number of
Settings. I
what
wonder if
their
there's a way to
property is
turn
worth,
some of this
but
stuff
a
off.
comprehensive analysis of the market. Give NextGen a call at 713-346-9911 or check us out online at nextgenappraisals.com.
Oh, let me turn that off.
Are small returns getting in the way of your retirement plans? Why settle for mediocre results? There's a better place to invest. The experts agree, single-family real estate is one of the best investments you can make. Find out how JB Fund Services offers a 9% preferred return and up to a 13% waterfall. Call us today at 281-915-0906 or visit our website, jbfundservices.com.
Oh, how do you turn that?
That's 281-915-0906. This investment is offered to accredited investors.
This is
Group
Business
activity. What is
1110.
that?
All right, fellas, hot mics.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. I'm texting on the show and all kinds of stuff, doing some real estate deals. Wonder if there's anybody else has a radio show that actually doing real estate deals during the show.
Yeah, actually, I I was working on one right now. We're funding that deal, and I'm trying to figure out where we're at on it and all that.
I was up in Dallas last week right after the Gillies event, and I went to eviction court right on that Thursday morning, and we prevailed on we got the order of what's it called? Order of possession.
Yeah, writ of possession.
Well, we don't have the writ yet. We got
okay.
We got the possession order. He's got 5 days to appeal, and then we get the writ, right?
Okay.
And so and I'd offered the guy, like basically cash for keys, prior to the eviction process, right? And so he's texting me now, is that deal still on? And I'm like, yeah. I mean, I'd like to get you out. We can get you out on Friday, right?
Yeah, move on out.
Move on out. Here's the cash.
So we bought a house, just so people are kind of know what's going on. So we bought a house with a tenant already in it, and I used tenant.
Well, we contracted. We haven't
closed it. I use that term loosely.
Yeah.
This is one of those really messy deals that guys like us are fully educated on how. This is not something a new investor shouldn't be doing a deal like this, right?
Grandpa passed away. Dad and sister inherited the property. Grandson's living in the house. Yeah, we won't close on a house when a family member is occupying the house typically, right?
Yeah.
So we were evicting him because the dad didn't have the heart to evict him, but wanted him out, and so grandson's been living there for a while. So yeah, we want him out.
So okay, so we're in the process of cleaning that up, title issues, all that other stuff. So this is not what vast majority of our students do, and that sort of. This is like this is like graduate level real estate,
of course,
right? This is not what we recommend for new investors. So, Tom, what are the next events? I want to learn how to do real estate. How do you guys teach that? What makes
best place
how do I
to
get
start? A lot of people want to start dipping their toe in the water, and the best place to start is come to our free event at noon on Thursday, and just go to rightpathrealestate.com, click on the Financial Freedom Seminar. And in fact, I can go over there to the website right now, and it's really easy. Just go up to the events tab. In fact, I even think it starts our first. We've got a brand new website that we've been working on, and I like a lot of the change. Yeah, pops up very first thing, Right Path to Financial Freedom, and you click on that, and it will take you to a registration form. We just like to collect your name and phone number, that kind of stuff, so that we can get so you can sign up for this free event. You can learn how to run your real estate investing as a business, how to gain actionable information from real estate investing experts, meet valuable connections. You got small group settings, get your questions answered, all those kind of things. So all you got to do is just head on over to rightpathrealestate.com. We just ask for first name, last name, email, and your phone number. And are you going to come Thursday at 12 o'clock? Or you want to come next Tuesday at 6:30? Those are our next two events. And then it's going to be right here in our offices, 11451 Katy Freeway. You can kind of see where the radio show is done if you want to see the studio. It's so fancified. We got a very fancified studio. You can see our background. You get to see the Right Path Forest right behind us, or the cityscape if you want. So you can come in and see where all the magic happens. Yeah. But the real magic is, I love the Zig Ziglarism. If you help enough other people achieve what they want in life, then yours is an automatic. And really what we want to do is help people build a better financial future than the path that they're on right now. And the good news is there is hope for a better future that can start today. You're less than 5 years away from being able to retire. Going to see you on Thursday, 12 o'clock. I'll be in the studio tomorrow with Build Your Team Thursday.
All right, guys, Mike's